And we welcome you to the Brian France Should See a Proctologist to Get His Head Removed from His Own Ass podcast. I am I am Matthew. Who are you people? I'll start with we have two guests this week. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves.
Well, I am Matt L.
Awesome. And we also have another special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself as well?
My name is Jason McCarthy. That's all I gotta say.
Alright. Short and sweet and to the point. This is well, I don't want to call it the Deal With It podcast because I actually haven't called it that yet in an episode, but that's what it is. Here to ramble about Brendan Gaughan for an hour and a half like usual, so I've got a couple. So before we get into the topic, I've got a couple of random things I want to talk about or rant about. So I work in a small, like, family-owned restaurant, and we've been doing renovations recently. And if you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting pictures of the terrible work the contractors have been doing. So, like, we started, like, before Cinco de Mayo, and then they were supposed to be showing up at nights and working, and they haven't showed up a single night. They've been showing up at, like, 7:30 on a Friday when we're really busy, and then working with power tools and not getting anything done. And this regular lady that we have in there named Cindy saw the guy who's supposed to be in charge of doing the contracting work at a bar doing a bunch of shots of tequila for like 4 hours and talking about how our insurance company isn't a real insurance company and that basically, oh, we didn't give them enough money to finish the project or anything and that, oh, we owe them like another 20 grand, which is funny because we got the money from the insurance, laid out a list of what we wanted done, and they were like, no, we want to build you all this really cool stuff, and we'll do it out of pocket for you. And now they're not even doing what we asked them to do, and they're saying that we owe them more money now. And so they're just not doing anything. Yeah, and the stuff that they have done is all half done and looks like shit.
Oh, wow. And
I'm like, well...
Is that the post you put on Instagram? Was that a picture of that?
Well, somebody's dog's barking.
Sorry about that.
That's fine. Riley, what was that?
Is that the picture you put on Instagram? Was it about that?
Yeah. Oh, whoops, I accidentally just muted Matt's mic.
Good job.
Trying to unmute it. Unmute, yeah. Yeah, they put down a bunch of tiles and didn't grout any of them, so now they're all just going to get ruined. And Matt's mic won't unmute for some reason, so I apologize about that. Let me unmute it, damn it. As you can see, we are having technical difficulties like usual.
Yeah.
Shit. Sorry. Matt, can you say something real quick?
Dang it.
Awesome. Clicking the mute mic button just doesn't do anything. Anyway, we'll figure this out, but yeah, they came in yesterday while I was like hanging out before my shift started, and like the guy came in and was looking at the tiles. He's like, yeah, I'm surprised it's not like falling apart. You know, we were kind of scared that it was gonna move because it didn't get grouted, and I was so close to just going, well, maybe you guys should have freaking grouted it, you know, like you're supposed to do with, I don't know, tiles.
Yeah.
It's just absurd, and I'm sick of it.
Matt messaged me on Facebook. He said I'm going to rejoin to see if it works.
Okay, yeah, I apologize about that. I accidentally clicked mute instead of adjusting the volume slider, and then it won't unmute. So, anyway, anybody else have anything cool to add about just stuff not racing related?
You have one more thing.
I know, but I'll save that for the... I want somebody else to get a word in.
Alright. Jason, do you have anything before I go on?
Nope.
Awesome.
No, not at all, man.
Alright. Nothing has been going on.
Wait, didn't you start school, Jason, this week?
Yeah, I started school today and it sucked ass.
Awesome.
Real
Hashtag
bad.
college life.
Alright,
Oh.
he's joining the call.
Okay, there we go.
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Alright, cool.
Here, I'll turn off your camera for you. Oh, what the hell? It just muted him again.
God dang it.
Why does this keep happening? I clicked the turn off camera button and it muted him.
I think I just unmuted myself.
Oh, okay, now it's working. Okay, good. Alright.
Alright.
Okay, it works now. We're good. We started. Matt, is there anything off topic you want to talk about? Dude, today's show is freaking awesome. Anyway, okay, I guess I will talk since nobody else has anything to say. I'm gonna be an uncle, so that's cool. My brother's having a kid, so yeah,
Congrats.
that's gonna be pretty awesome. They posted it on Facebook, and I just commented. I was like, "If the thought of me being an uncle doesn't scare you, I don't know what does." Anyway, let's move into the racing news for this week. Let's see what's up, and we've got a lot this week. So starting off with the one that I'm probably most passionate about, Kevin Ward's family is pursuing legal action and suing Tony Stewart because they can't let it go. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about the whole Tony Stewart, Kevin Ward thing, but as far as I'm concerned, Kevin Ward was under the influence of marijuana, and it sucks that a NASCAR or a race car driver had to die, but he threw himself into basically a moving car and got himself killed.
Yeah.
It was not Tony Stewart's fault.
Yeah.
And this whole story just needs to go away. And I hope Tony doesn't give their family a cent because they've gone from grieving parents to con artists.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Anybody have anything to add?
Well, I just pretty much think the same thing as what you're saying. So.
Okay. I mean, at first I was kind of sympathetic, like, yeah, they just lost their son, and I know that can be hard. But the fact is, they're clearly not grieving parents. They just want money.
Yeah.
They've crossed that point where they're no longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
At first, people thought like he was on marijuana like a month ago or something. But I saw online they like found new evidence that he was like literally on it the day of the race.
Yeah.
So how can you even talk anymore?
Yeah, and even if you take that out, there's the evidence that I've seen slow motion replays where he kind of like reaches into the roll cage of Tony's car, and I'm like, he got hit. Like, even if that didn't happen, he ran out into a live racetrack and got hit.
Yeah.
It's just. This whole story needs to just go away because Tony's finally starting to get back on track, and now the story comes right back up again.
Yeah, it's probably hurting him too. Like,
yeah,
I feel bad for him.
So anyway, the next, probably the biggest news topic, we found out about this today. Michael Waltrip Racing will not be running any cars full time next year. Effectively, the team will be basically shutting down. And Clint Boyer was granted release from MWR, so who knows where he's going to go next year. And this is pretty big news.
Yeah. Before I go on about what I'm going to say, Jason or Matt, you guys can say what you want.
Well, the team's like a dump. I mean, they haven't been good since they got rid of Truex, so unless they can get some like talent now, like, I don't know who, the team's over anyway.
Yeah, I mean, with Kaufman announcing that he's basically taking his money to Ganassi because he's been the 50% owner since I think 2007, something like that. You know, he's been basically providing all the funding, and Michael Waltrip's been doing all the ownership stuff. Him taking all of his money has been the final nail in the coffin of that team.
Brian Vickers actually did well last year until, like, his blood clots or whatever got in the way.
Yeah, I remember they started off the season really solidly. Like, they looked like they could win races early, but then they kind of tailed off. But yeah, it's a shame. Last thing NASCAR needs right now is 2 full-time cars going away because they're barely filling up the fields right now.
Yeah.
But like, I have no idea where Boyer's going to land. He's already announced that he's not going to Ganassi. He's not going to be with Kaufman anymore. And his only options are maybe if Furniture Row expands to another car this year, or if RPM maybe dumps Hornish and adds him. But, like, that's it, really. Riley, what'd you have to say?
Can you hear me? First of all.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, like whenever I heard that, of course I shared it, and I was pretty happy because a lot of people find this interesting. That like I like Boyer even after what he's done in Gordon. Like people find, no, you're a Gordon fan. Why don't you hate him? Well, I'm happy that he's out of a team that's not contending anymore. Like what Matt said, they haven't contended really much since Truex left, or since they pretty much fired him. Well, you know, and now that Martin's left and Vickers is out with blood clots, it's just not a good team. It hasn't been a good team, and this season just shows that that they're not a top-notch team as they were there a couple of years ago, and in a way I'm happy because for Boyer pretty much, but as well, like I said, it will bring up a bunch of questions as where does this leave Toyota with just Gibbs pretty much the only contending team now?
Yeah, definitely that too.
Where will Boyer go? I know Matt just said that, or he said that him and Rob Kaufman will be going separate ways probably, and that I hope he goes into a top contending Chevy team. Ford, in a way, I don't really think would suit him well.
No.
So really much Chevy, and where will this put Vickers and Reagan? I've seen Vickers on NBC as a broadcast announcer a couple times. He could get some good big bucks out of that if he wants to pursue that. But Reagan, like I said earlier, before the call, I guess, people have said, oh, he's going to go back to 34. Well, you never know because lately he's like, oh, I really want to stay with MWR. That could really put the 34 as a last-minute decision for him. Is it Bob Jenkins or who?
Yeah, Bob Jenkins is the owner of the team.
Yeah, Bob Jenkins. You never know. He could take those words as, oh, he doesn't want back with us, and not sign him back.
Well, the thing with that was Front Row never had plans to run Reagan full-time in the 34 this year anyway. Like, they only had a part-time schedule planned out. Like, that's why they took the owner points and gave them to Cole Witt.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and this leaves Reagan in a really tricky spot because he had him and the 55 were a good fit, and the team was on, like, they weren't a race-winning team, but they had made improvements since Reagan joined the team.
Oh,
but you also have to look at, where does this leave Brett Moffitt?
Yeah.
Because I don't, he was basically the heir to the 55 car. And now he's got Front Row, but does Front Row really want him for another year? He was basically put there to get experience, and now he's just got no future.
Yeah, pretty much. He ran, if anyone can remember, I'm not sure if it was just a one-race deal or however many races in the Xfinity Series there a couple of years ago for, I think it was Michael Waltrip, the 99.
I think so. I think he needs to move down, though, to get more experience, because he went straight from K&N to Cup.
Yeah.
So.
He was a contender in K&N, but he almost won the championship there when Kwasniewski beat him, but look at Kwasniewski and how poorly he did last year in the Xfinity Series in a top contending team. Moffitt won't get anywhere if he goes straight to Cup.
Yeah.
So he'll need to go down, maybe to trucks for a couple of years, and then move his way up.
Yeah. I'm hoping, because Michael Waltrip Racing obviously has a lot of equipment, I hope somebody with money comes in and just buys the team just to keep cars in the field. Because without Michael Waltrip, that's 42, I think, full-time, or no, not even full-time, just 42 cars in general. Because this year, in the last 2 years, the 44 car, which isn't really much of a loss, disappeared. RAB shut down. TMG has been a massive flop and hasn't even been showing up to the majority of the races. Premium Motorsports is on its way out because Jay Robinson doesn't know how to run a team. Michael Waltrip Racing is shutting down now. There's been so many teams falling out that somebody's got to fill the field.
Yeah, really. You never know. I was also thinking that might end up, not that Junior has speculated anything, but maybe Junior Motorsports could field maybe a car next year. You never know. You never know.
Well, the problem with that is the 4-car limit. So, if as long as Junior drives for Hendrick when they have 4 cars, Junior can't bring Junior Motorsports up because that would basically count towards that count.
Would it really?
Yeah, that's why. Was it 2012? I think, so, or the couple years where Michael Waltrip drove for different teams. Instead of Michael Waltrip Racing in the Daytona 500 was because of that 4-car limit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
So instead of fielding 4 cars out of his own shop, he basically took another team so he wouldn't be over the limit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where he had 4 cars.
I'm trying to think. 2012, when he drove the 40 for Hillman, which is what Landon Castle drives now, and then they had the 55, the 56, and the 15. So there was 4 cars there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they couldn't field another car outside of that.
Yeah.
So like if they would have been fielding the 40 car as an alliance, basically, Michael wouldn't have been able to race, so he had to drive that one.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, or I think that's when the 47 still had an alliance with them too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember whenever they had that.
Yeah. So does anybody else have anything to add?
Yeah, Matt or Jason? Anything?
Could you guys see like veterans coming in or retired people and buying out these teams? Like Jeff Gordon come in and buy out Michael Waltrip?
That could work. The only,
Yeah.
I mean, they would have to switch him over to Chevy because of his contracts with them, but that could work.
I could see Martin doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason, you know your mic's muted, right? Why does this keep happening? God damn it. Anyway, yeah, I'm just hoping somebody comes in and buys this team out because we need the field, basically.
Yeah.
So,
or that will just, I don't know, it'll be, MWR, that is going to be a big loss for NASCAR.
oh, yeah.
Because
They've been around since, I think, 94, something like that.
Yeah.
In NASCAR in general, yeah.
And, like, that drops Toyota, like I said, down to just Joe Gibbs as a contending team. Like, BK Racing, I doubt it'll last for a couple more years.
No. Well, they might last, but they won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, who knows what that's going to lead to, but let's move on to good news, though, with teams actually joining. 2 new truck teams have returned to the Truck Series this week. Waters Racing has returned with Dalton Sargent in the 5, and Braun Racing is back for the first time since 2010 with the 32 truck driven by J.J. Haley. Not Yaley, sorry, Haley. And qualifying just happened and both trucks made the race, so that's pretty awesome.
Good.
So hopefully good runs out of that because we need more truck teams. We just need more teams in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we still need somebody to give James Busher a ride.
For sure. Like,
It is a crime that he does not have a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, you want to say anything before I go on?
Not really. I don't know too much about the trucks.
Ah, okay.
Was it Waters Racing was with Townley for half of the season last year.
Yeah.
And they ran pretty well. And they've been with different drivers before. Was that the same team that Skinner was in the 5, or was that a different?
No, that was Randy Moss's team.
Oh, yes.
Waters came in or switched to the 5, I think, in 2012, and ran Paulie Haraka.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite driver who crashes before the start of races.
Yeah, and then they had was it Dakota Armstrong?
So I'm trying to remember who they had.
It wasn't it couldn't have been.
I can look it up. Hang on.
Yeah.
Somebody, yeah.
Well, they had Townley last year. They did pretty well, and I was kind of devastated. Well, not devastated, but I was kind of upset because Townley's my favorite truck driver. I was kind of upset that.
That's unfortunate.
Shut up. I was upset that he went to the 05 because the first couple races in the 05 he ran horrible, and I was like, oh god, this is the end of his season pretty much. And then he comes to this season and he's done pretty well for consistency at least. So you never know. I've never heard of that Dalton Sargent though. Like you never know, he could be a really poor driver. Where did he qualify? Do you remember?
He qualified, I think, 18th, somewhere around 20th.
That's
Yeah,
right.
2013. I'm on their Wikipedia right now. They had Tim George Jr.
Oh yes, and the Apple.
and then they had Townley, and then after Townley left, they shut down for the last half of the year.
Yeah, Tim George Jr. That's who it was. For some reason, I thought Armstrong.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
John
it
King drove for them too.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Matt?
Is it possible that Brad Keselowski Racing could expand because they have Tyler Reddick and Austin something? Could they put in a third car and take on those?
Austin Terrio. Oh, that's right. They only ran Terrio in like 3 races this year. He was supposed to run a partial season.
Yeah.
That's weird. They've run 3 trucks in the past. They ran the 1929, and then Brad drove the 2 trucks. So yeah, they might expand if they had the money.
Yeah.
Yep. So there's that. So that's good. More teams entering is always a good thing. So this one, because we missed the show last week, NASCAR has been considering running the boot at Watkins Glen, which would be awesome. I would love to see the boot run.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good.
Yep. So hopefully that happens. Let's see. They just started repaving the track. Also, I remember that.
Yeah,
So.
like literally right after the race ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Wise has signed on to run 3 more races in the 32 car. So I just want the Doge car to come back. That's all I want. I want it so bad. Long live the Doge car. It's good for him. Josh is. I don't really know how good he is, but I like Josh, so that's cool.
I think he's got talent. He ran the 7 there with Junior Motorsports there a couple years ago. He ran pretty well. Fairly well, I guess.
Yeah.
If he were to get maybe a couple years in Xfinity with a top team, he could show something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This is a topic that we missed. Buddy Baker passed away after his fight with, I think it was some type of cancer. So obviously that is very, very sad news. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason's back. How nice of you to join us. Yeah, I'm just messing with you. So it's been a tough couple months as racing fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least he's not in pain anymore, so that's better.
I didn't even know he had cancer.
They only announced it like 2 weeks before he passed away. Really, like they only made it public news.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I only heard it whenever he died.
Yep. Also news, Justin Allgaier has been reportedly close to signing an extension with H. Scott Motorsports, so long live the 51 car. Yeah. So I'm a big Justin Allgaier fan if you guys haven't figured it out yet, so.
Yeah. I like Allgaier. He was always my second favorite, but now this year it's Truex, so that's why Truex is going to be my favorite next year. But
yep, I remember the first year I followed ARCA was 2008 when Allgaier won the championship, and I was like, this guy's awesome. And then I've been following him moving up through the series for a while now, so
yeah,
that's pretty neat. Yeah.
He has a lot of talent. He just the equipment on that team is not the best for his condition right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean they're a small team buying out Phoenix Racing, running Hendrick hand-me-downs. They've done decent. Michael Annette's been kind of a disappointment this year, but Allgaier's been pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, he drove up into the top 10 at Richmond with stomach cramps the whole time, so
yeah,
that was pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm a big Allgaier fan, so I'd like to see him more in that car, and hopefully somebody picks him up or they're able to move up the field.
I want to see him go to Furniture Row if they expand. I think that'd
Yeah,
be really nice.
that would be a good move, definitely.
Yeah.
He'd bring sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the same with Bortha. Like he'd bring sponsorship to Furniture Row.
Yeah. Dang it, I accidentally closed the tab that I meant to have open. They announced Danica Patrick's new sponsor for next year as well. Sponsored by Nature's Bakery. That's the wrong button. Whoops. So, yeah, have you guys seen her car yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't
Well,
seen
have.
I will screen share it real quick for the sake of the podcast. Where's the screen share button? I can't remember how to do this because it's been too long. Oh, here it is.
I saw it on Instagram. Well, the little picture of her and like with her Cubs hat on, and it was like sneak peek and whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone was going on, oh, it's going to be Peak or it's going to be Oreo. And I thought, Oreo would be a good sponsor. But then I knew it wouldn't be Peak because of Mobile One. And,
Yeah. Well, they also said it was going to be a sponsor that's new to NASCAR as well.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said. Oh, I didn't catch up on that, and I was like, darn, so it's not going to be Oreos.
Yeah. I like the car, but I'm kind of... The teaser shot, I thought it was going to be a lot cooler
Yeah.
instead of just a blank white stripe, but it's a nice looking car, and it's cool to see sponsors entering. So,
Yeah.
the more sponsors and teams that join, the better.
Yeah.
I wish they would run her Aspen Dental car more, because that one looks nice.
Yeah, I do like that paint scheme too.
Yeah.
I'm one of the few people that actually likes her GoDaddy car this year. It looks like it's all bondoed.
I like it.
Yeah. And finally, I want to go through this whole list. People on Retards Racing have been putting together all of the throwback schemes that are going to be running at Darlington. And is it 2 weeks or is it? When is it again?
It's 2 weeks.
Okay.
Not 2.
So this is the list that people have put together. We've all seen Keselowski's. It's been out for a while now. And Austin Dillon's, which is a throwback to, I believe, Richard Childress's old car. Kevin Harvick's, which is the old Budweiser logos, but it looks like the old Morgan McClure Kodak car, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Danica's, it's just a reverse scheme. It's not even a throwback, so we're not even going to pretend.
Comes from.
Denny Hamlin's is a mess. Tony Stewart's retro logos. Ricky Stenhouse's car is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's David Pearson's old scheme. The Wood Brothers car is a fail because it's not a throwback. It's just a bunch of pictures, which is a cool idea, but there were so many Wood Brothers schemes you could have run. Instead, you picked that.
Yeah.
Chase Elliott, let's just run Bill Elliott's car, but different colors. Yeah. Paul Menard.
Colin, I don't like the look of his. Where does his come from? Is his
His is a mashup of the old Menards paint schemes and the car that his dad used to drive in ice racing back in Wisconsin in the late 80s.
Oh, okay.
So it's a more personal throwback.
Yeah. That's the
Ryan
same,
Newman.
pretty much.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's the same with Reagan's, pretty much.
I really like Reagan's too.
Yeah. I really like
Newman's. Yeah, Newman's running the old Caterpillar logos. Kurt Busch's is awesome, the Jason Leffler throwback. Or is it Jack Sprague? I can't remember. One of those two. Jimmy Johnson's. Yeah, David Reagan's is awesome.
Yeah. I
Brian
don't like.
Scott. What?
I don't like Johnson's.
It's alright, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care for it. I gotta say, Brendan Gaughan's is my favorite, though. Not to bring it around Brendan Gaughan, but I love that scheme.
Yeah. Didn't he run something like that at Kentucky last year? Something similar?
He ran one that was similar to that, but it was a different sponsor.
Yeah.
And then the one that made me scream like a little girl when I saw it. Kyle Larson's Kyle Petty throwback. So, I'm looking forward to Darlington because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I believe that's the news. Jeez, we made that last a half hour.
Whoa.
Jeez. Well, let's move on to the race review. We've got multiple races to review. We'll start off with Watkins Glen and how terrible I am at fantasy picks. What'd you guys think of Watkins Glen?
Matt, want to go first or Jason?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I'm an Allmendinger fan after junior,
I didn't
so
watch
it's kind of
those.
you see him in
Yeah.
the pool and then he does horrible.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought the race was pretty good. It's usually I feel like there's a lot of crashes usually, and it's usually like pretty packed. But I thought it was pretty good. You had Truex got third. It's not bad for him. So.
Yeah, good finish too. I was hoping Harvick would make it to the end, but instead Logano won and brought the Penske circle jerk all the way around. So, yeah, Cup race was good. Xfinity race blew.
Yeah, both races. Logano was dominant in the Xfinity. No one could catch
Oh
him.
God.
It was bad, and I didn't watch all of it because I had a couple friends over, but the
You didn't miss anything.
yeah, I didn't really miss anything. And then the Cup race, I didn't like it. Like Colin said on Instagram, it just didn't seem like the regular Watkins Glen races that we have had in the last couple of years. Like the intense racing, bumping each other off the track, rubbing each other up every corner pretty much. And
Yeah, it wasn't as intense or close as Watkins Glen has been in the past.
I think that's because all the good drivers that usually compete there, like Kyle Busch or Allmendinger, or even Andrews isn't even here. That's missing. So what's left?
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Who won that one out of us?
Logano swept the weekend.
No, I mean, who won the fantasy picks?
Oh, you know what? I have our picks written down somewhere.
I know. I had Kurt Busch. You had
I had Allmendinger, of course. Yeah.
Colin had Kyle Busch, didn't he?
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
As you guys have figured out, I am terrible at fantasy picks.
Maybe
I always lose.
Maybe Keselowski. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, all I know is I lost again, so that's cool. I won the Xfinity one because I picked Borisset. That's right. But that's it. Now moving on to most recent race, the only race I did watch this weekend, Xfinity at Mid-Ohio. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, that was sick. I loved that race. At first, I wanted Buescher to win because he's my favorite, but when Smith got around Buescher, I was like, all right, if Buescher doesn't win, I want Smith to win. Even though Tagliani is Canadian, I was like, I don't want that 22 to win.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. I was like, I have no problem Tagliani, but I hate that number 22 car, and I want it to lose.
Yeah, and then Smith with that, that was such a dirty but great pass.
It was, he did drive in there with the intent of missing, but I think Tagliani got carried away with mirror driving, and Smith caught him back, and if you watch the helicopter view, Tagliani completely missed his apex for that final corner, and then Regan just drove in there super deep and just finished the deal and pushed him out of the way, and so I was pretty stoked for that.
Yeah, I jumped up off the chair, and I was like, yes!
Oh yeah, I had the same reaction, basically.
Yeah.
Now, anything else to add, you guys?
Yeah, Matt, you got anything to say about the race?
Nope.
For Michigan?
Well, we're going to move into that in a moment, but for Mid-Ohio, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was good to see some drivers who aren't usually up top to be more up top, or even just drivers that need to be up top to look good, like Elliott Sadler or Darrell Wallace Jr.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Sadler ran pretty well.
So, I had the fortune of missing the Michigan race, but I have not heard a single positive thing about that race yet. What about you guys?
It was different. It was different than any other Michigan race. It had the draft down the front stretch like Pocono and Indianapolis do. How they come way down close to the inside wall and then come back up before the corner. They had that, and I know it was from the new package, whatever, but still, it just didn't look like Michigan. and it was just so. It wasn't a really boring race, I have to say, because like Kansas, there was a couple alright battles. I didn't mind the race mainly because Kansas won. It was alright, and seeing him win. Johnson did horrible, which was pretty good. Uh, uh, it was alright, I guess. I didn't mind the race, but
Yeah, from what I heard, because I was at work when it happened.
yeah. You got anything to say, Matt?
I usually think the track's kind of like boring. Just the way it's designed. Like there can be a lot of passing because it's so wide, but it's never as interesting as other races. When Junior wins, obviously it's interesting, but just it wasn't the same. It was kind of boring.
Yeah, I know. I remember there 2008 whenever Junior won that race. There was so many lead changes for of course lead, I guess, but there was a lot of I thought pack racing. I used to 2008 was, of course, I was only 8 years old. I didn't watch much NASCAR. I watched the whole season of 2008. It was my first season, and I watched every single race. Michigan at first, when I first watched the race, I thought it was a restrictor plate track, just like Daytona and Talladega, just the way they were racing. Uh, I it's drivers like Sam Hornish and I believe Reed Sorensen had shots at winning that race, and now it's just not the same. I know what you mean whenever you said it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, yeah.
Nope. Well, Dale Junior 80 Rocks has left this call,
Oh, that's not good.
and I'm not sure what the next news topic is. Or, nah, it's not news topic, I guess.
Did you see how they like issued penalties or warnings to some drivers after Michigan?
Yeah, was Junior one of them?
Yeah, I think Allmendinger was another one.
Yeah, I didn't read onto it. I saw it on Facebook, but I didn't read onto it. What was it for? Did you see it?
Yeah, what I read, the website said after the pre-race qualifying or the happy hour practice, they had to check their car like 3 or 4 times after all those times because they were having so many inconsistencies like in their engine. So as a result, they issued warnings.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I saw it on Facebook. I didn't really read onto it. Did you see? Was Keselowski and Logano involved in that too?
Let me check. I almost think they were.
Because I know, I forget if it was qualifying. Before qualifying, Logano and Keselowski both had to switch their splitters because NASCAR found something. I'm not sure what it was with the splitter. It was improper or whatever it was with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So is it just us two now?
I think so. I mean, I think McCarthy's here, but he's like muted. So
Yeah. Well,
did we really like? I guess we did. I don't know what's next. Any more news?
I haven't seen any more news. There was a couple things. I thought it seemed like Matt listed a lot of things earlier before we went live. He seemed like he listed a lot of stuff, but I'm not sure if we went through it all. Not sure where he's even at. He probably died.
I might have some stuff right here on this website.
All right. I guess Tony Stewart, if anyone's interested in him, about he's planning on having a fifth operation on his leg. He's kind of iffy about it. He's had 4 surgeries, the most recent coming last December. A proposed 5th operation in the offseason would allow doctors to remove his stabilizing titanium rod hardware, but Stewart said he'll find out the status of the surgery in a couple of months. He doesn't know, pretty much. I read onto it. He doesn't know, like, he's just coming back. into kind of the groove. He's been qualifying really well lately. Maybe hasn't sealed the deal with a great finish, but
Yeah.
I, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say.
I think what the sad part is, like, he's obviously used to be one of the best drivers. My brother really likes it. But the fact of the matter is, he's 44, he's getting old, and Danica Patrick, who's actually doing pretty well, is beating him week in and week out. So
Yeah,
I feel like he should just retire and keep, like, how good he is, keep his record stable, instead of doing bad and then becoming like a Joe Nemechek for 5 years.
yeah. It. Trying to spit out what I'm trying to say here. Believe it was last year, right before the season started. He had a surgery. I think it was last year, and that's really what everyone thought set him back. And by the looks of what he's thinking here, he might have agreed with everyone there. So maybe that's why he's kind of iffy on the surgery. But you never know. If he doesn't take the surgery, it might end up wearing his leg out. He might get really ill. Well, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he should take it in the off season. You know, maybe like right after the off season. That way he has those couple months to, relax and let it heal. Yeah.
Now we talked about like Danica Patrick earlier and her sponsorship, but we didn't really talk about her huge, extension in her contract.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
How long did she extend it to? I didn't even see.
See, I'm pretty sure it was. I know it was multi-year. Oh, you're back. Cool.
AT&T just randomly shut off my internet for a minute.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I had to reset my modem real quick, and I completely lost connection.
Well,
yeah.
Let's
Penalties and Danica.
Yeah, we were talking about Danica Patrick.
Oh. Okay. Did Jason drop also, or?
Yeah, he must have.
I think he's just still muted, so I don't know.
Well, no, he's not showing up in the the video. Here, I'll send him another invite if he got dropped. But as you can see, we are having the best freaking time trying to record this week. So.
We did all right. Matt and I did pretty good while you were away.
Yeah. We had some good talk about Stewart.
Yeah, Tony Stewart with his surgery coming up.
Yeah, well, you guys carried the show pretty well, so that's good.
Yeah.
Anyway, did I miss anything else while I was raging about AT&T?
I think we just pretty much gave her a take on the missionaries.
Yeah. The last thing we were talking about was Danica Patrick's new contract.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Matt was just trying to find how long it was.
It's through... When is it through? I think it's through 2017, I think.
That's what I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I think it has shown this year that she's improving.
Yeah, she's completed like the third most laps out of anybody, I think, this year.
Yeah, which is.
And it's
good.
like she's had a quieter year this year than she has before, but that's a good thing because previous years she's been scrapping with BK Racing and tearing up a lot of race cars, and she hasn't been doing that this year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yep. So do we want to? We can just skip race predictions since Colin's not here. So, unless we want to. Trucks, Kyle Busch, Cup. Who knows?
Is there an Xfinity race? Yes.
Yes. Xfinity, Kyle Busch, Cup. Who knows?
We're not doing.
I'm not picking Kyle Busch. I'm just saying he's going to win those races, so there's no point.
Sure, yeah. You never know, actually.
Yeah. Cup race, if it's like it was in March, it'll be a total crapshoot.
I don't know. It was an alright race.
No, I mean, it was good. It was like, if you can finish, you can have a shot at winning.
Yeah. That's how it has been the last couple of years with the Cup races at Bristol. I liked it, too.
Bristol's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
like
Bristol.
my favorite race.
Oh, yeah. I love Bristol.
Yeah.
So let's move into the questions. Let's see if there's anything If you're watching this live, you can post it on the YouTube page, or you can post it in a Q&A app in the show if you're watching on Google+. Let me see if there's any questions that we didn't answer from last week's show. Let's see.
2 weeks ago, you mean?
Or 2 weeks, yes.
Just had to correct you.
Yeah. So if you guys want to, you can ask us anything. You can ask Riley what color underwear he's wearing, his favorite brand of maple syrup because he's Canadian,
Yep.
etc., etc.
It's funny because
Why are comments disabled? What the heck? Oh, there it is.
aren't even real. Like, no, like, there's rarely any people talk about maple syrup. Like, seriously. And same with the word
Yeah.
egg. Like, you rarely hear anyone here say egg. Or at least,
Yeah.
or at least here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah. All right, questions. First one. Newman fan Forever 39 asks, "What are your guys' picks for tonight's truck race?" Kyle Busch.
Did we just ask that?
It's the Kyle Busch 200. We all know. No, he asked that like 20 minutes ago.
I don't know. I think Mike Harmon could have a good shot.
Yeah, Mike Harmon, is he? I don't even think he's running. Norm
doesn't
Benning's
matter.
running, so Norm's gonna win.
It doesn't matter if Mike Harmon's running or not. He can still win.
He's already won.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm going with Ty Dillon on this one.
Yeah, maybe if he can survive to the end.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I was surprised to see him in the entry list actually, but it could be just our experience.
Yeah. Newman fan Forever 39 also says, "Do you guys think Ben Rhodes will get a full-time ride with Junior Motorsports?" I think so. He's got money, so that's pretty important. With Chase Elliott moving and Regan Smith being unsure about his job, I think he's got a. I don't really know. I haven't watched him race, so he hasn't really impressed me at all. But I don't know anything about him. But sure, why not?
I don't think I think Smith will return to the 7 for sure.
Yeah.
I think him and Junior really have a good relationship together as a driver and an owner. I really think that Smith will return. Of course, Elliott Sadler was with rumors coming over. He could be in the 9. But of course, always the 88 and the 5 that Junior has ran full time before. Someone could, Ben Rhodes could run full time with one of those. But I don't know. I don't think he will. I don't think he's good enough. He's only got like 2 or 3 top 10s in his Xfinity career. That's just this year pretty much. But he's ran 7 or 8 races, 2 or 3 top 10s. Of course, he is still young, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, the verdict's still out on him. Like, we don't really know what to think of Ben Rhodes yet.
Yeah.
He's just like way too inexperienced. I mean, he won the 2014 K&M Pro Series championship, so he's obviously good. He's just like he's too young to be on a good team.
Yeah.
That was the problem with when we mentioned Dylan Kwasniewski earlier. Is he kind of, when he came into Turner Scott, he moved straight up from Canon to Nationwide, and there was all these expectations put on him, and he was kind of arrogant at the time, and he's been driving the 97 car for, however you pronounce their name, Obaika or something.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard from people who are in on the teams, that he's matured a lot over the last year, and he's been hanging out with crew guys and just focusing on, okay, I'm in a midfield car, I just need to bring it home in one piece instead of overdriving it and wrecking all the time. And I don't know about Ben Rhodes, but like, that's the thing you have to remember, is you can't get cocky or arrogant and get that sense of entitlement. You got to remember that, racing is a job, and that you have to perform to keep your job.
Yeah.
And you can't let that go to your head.
Yeah.
Don't some drivers though just go through that cycle? Like Tony Stewart, when he first started, he was like really rowdy. Same thing happened with Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski, but in the end, they all turned out good.
Yeah, that's what pretty much cost Casey Atwood his whole season, or his whole career, was he just expected like things would fall together right in the 19 car. He was never at the shop. He was never around, and then when he had one bad season and nobody wanted to pick him up, it was over for then.
Yeah.
All right. He's running like spring. And
Yep. Cody Hagan asks, will Chris Buescher drive the 99 next year? It has been hinted at. I was reading an article that Jack Roush said it is a possibility next year. They have the number available, so if they can find sponsorship and Roush doesn't suck next year, yeah, I think he'd be a good fit for that.
Yeah, I watched. I forget if it was on YouTube or if it was before the race there the other day. That Jack Roush is confident that Roush in the Cup Series will be another contending team here within a couple years. He of course he wants to be this year, but I think it's a little too late now. And
they've had their off years. This is definitely the worst one they've had, but like you can look at 2001, they weren't good. 2009, not 2012, sorry. But like since the Gen 6 era, they've struggled, and I mean I think Jack Roush, I think, is the thing that's keeping that team back. Jack is a little old. From what I've heard, he's kind of stingy when it comes to money, and keeping sponsors is especially difficult for him. And the thing I'd hate to see happen is we know, like, Stenhouse can drive.
Yeah.
I think he's just overdriving. He's trying too much. He doesn't have any chemistry with his crew chief. 2013, he looked promising.
Yeah.
Last year, they showed some speed, but most of the time he was just wrecking. And this year, it's just been an absolute train wreck for the whole team. And I'd hate to see somebody. I know you don't like Stenhouse, but I'd hate to see somebody promising like him have his career go to waste because of a bad team.
Yeah.
So I think, and we've seen before that Jack Roush will continually put faith in his drivers even if they're not performing. You can look at how long he held on for Wally Dallenbach. The only reason David Reagan got released after 2011 was because they didn't have sponsorship. He wanted to keep Reagan, but they couldn't. Yeah. It's just a matter of Roush knows the team's not running good, and if they go on, if you look at Kentucky, I've said this before, Stenhouse and Bain both ran really well with the low downforce package, and I feel like if they switch to that next year, then we'll see them definitely improve. So.
Yeah, and I hope they do switch to that because they could cheat a lot.
Yeah. So, give the car's power back and take that spoiler off, and we'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, good question. Yeah, but back on the Buescher topic, I like Chris, or not. I kind of like Chris. I don't know. I'm still kind of. I don't like the way he's dealt with Darrell Wallace, but I think he needs to mature a little bit more. I think he's still kind of. I'm not going to say he's not ready, but he's got the talent too. So.
Yeah. I think if they pull him up now, he's going to be the next Michael Annett or Cole Witt. Someone who's got talent who's just either not ready or they're just bad. And that's happened before. I don't want to see that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same.
Cole Witt's been kind of disappointing this year because he was definitely. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Riley.
Yeah.
Cole Witt was pretty impressive in the 26 last year. Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a couple drivers brought up to Cup even this year that they have a lot of talent, and I really hate that they're in bad teams like Jeb Burton for one. He had a lot.
Definitely.
He showed a lot in the trucks with Turner Scott, and now that he's with Burger King Racing, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh my God, you just ruined your career signing with him." I know he's probably thinking, "Oh, good, I'm going up to the Cup Series. I can show something." No, you can't because you're with this team.
Yeah.
It's the same with Cole Witt.
The problem with what Jeb Burton. Yeah, Jeb Burton's problem is like last year when you looked at the guy Cole Witt and Alex Bowman was. They took over BK Racing and Swan Racing's cars, and they weren't good teams, but what they showed was their ability to bring the car home in one piece and to even sometimes run better than their equipment. I think Jeb Burton is trying too hard because he's torn up a lot of cars this year, and that's, as a team owner, you don't want to see that. And that's
he's even missed quite a few.
Bowman and Bowman and Cole Witt, Cole Witt's having a little bit of an off year, but they've shown, that they're good choices, safe choices for a midfield team. Burton really hasn't shown that yet.
Yeah.
All right. Next question, also from Cody Hagan. Do you think that this is Austin Dillon's year he could win a race? I don't know, to be honest. Austin Dillon's kind of hard to read. Like, what they've shown this year is they can run good, but they haven't been able to finish well. And RCR's still not top tier, so.
I don't think the cars are fast enough.
Yeah. If RCR steps their game up, I think Austin can win races. Or at least a race.
Yeah. Well, right now, they have 2 drivers in the chase. Newman and Menard are right now both in on
Yeah,
point.
oh god, I hope Paul Menard holds on for that chase spot so bad.
Oh, I know. It'll be good.
I don't care if he gets eliminated first round. I just want Menard and McMurray to make the chase for once.
Yes. If you think about it, when was the last year that RCR had 2 drivers in the chase?
That would be 2000. No, not 13.
No.
2010, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2010.
Exactly.
Boyer missed it in 2011.
Yeah.
Burton and Menard missed it in 2012. Yeah, it's been 5 years since they put 2 cars. That just goes to show how good Kevin Harvick was.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
How consistently he outperformed his teammates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, like last year, it was just Newman. This year it could be Newman, Menard, and if Dillon were to get a win, Dillon.
Yeah.
Because Dillon, the last couple of races, like last week, like at Michigan, he ran so well. He could have had a shot at winning.
Yeah, I remember when I was reading the race thread about it, and everybody's like, Austin Dillon might win this, and I was like, that's cool. It's nice to see him running up front finally.
Yeah.
And I want to address something real quick about how whenever I see people say Austin Dillon's not the rightful heir to the number 3, I'm like, it's a goddamn number. It doesn't matter. Austin Dillon has never been an aggressive driver, but it's been the number he's always driven. And when I hear people say that, oh, he sucks because he was outperformed by Kyle Larson, I was like, he finished like 17th in points, and he finished like 98% of the laps as a rookie. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Austin Dillon's never been the aggressive type like Ty who will go out there and chase wins. Austin Dillon is the consistent, like bring the car home in one piece type driver. Like I was watching a piece about Austin and Ty, and they were saying that growing up, they always said that Austin was like Bobby Allison. Like, he was never flashy, but he was always good at points racing. While Ty is like Cale Yarborough, who's real aggressive, real old school, goes all out every lap, and I think that's really accurate. Yeah. And I don't think Austin Dillon is a great. I'm not going to say he's like one of the best drivers on the circuit, but I do like Austin, and I think he's a decent driver.
Yeah.
I don't think numbers for cars should be based on like your genetics. Like either A, retire the number like other sports do, or B, let anyone drive it. Like, I don't expect Jeffrey Earnhardt to take the 88 from Junior later.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny when you hear all these people outraged about that, but everybody likes to ignore the slew of mediocre drivers who've driven the 43. And I'm not saying Eric Almirola's bad, but Eric Almirola's nothing special, and he's driving the winningest driver or winningest number in NASCAR history. Or no, second. 11's winningest. Second winningest number in NASCAR history. Or even the fact that nobody gets outraged that Denny Hamlin's driving the 11, which is the winningest number of all time. It's just that in the end, it's a number. Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah, like you were saying, the 43 has had a lot of mediocre drivers. Almirola, Allmendinger, Sorensen, Andretti, Bobby Labonte. Well, Labonte was a mediocre driver then.
Yeah. It's just... Austin Dillon driving the 3 car will not change Dale Earnhardt's legacy in any way. No matter how much you want to believe it, it doesn't matter that he drives the 3 car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. And it's absurd. Yeah. Man, we are awesome at getting off topic. All right. I believe this is the final question. Max the Hedgehog said, "Do you think that Clint Boyer will fare these final 3 races before the chase starts?" I'm assuming will he fare well. I think, knowing that this is basically the last hurrah, I think MWR is gonna just put everything into the 15 team, and maybe even just everything they have into their cars for the next 3 races to get them into the chase.
I don't know.
I think so. I don't think they're gonna give up.
I think I don't know if they'll give up, but I don't know if they'll like put everything into that car. What it looks like, Waltrip and Kaufman aren't on the same page anymore. So you never know; they might not work together well enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think Boyer will make the chase, to be honest. Like he's what, 40 points right now? Or is he in?
He's I think a full race out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he might have the last spot right now. Let me look.
Boyer's never
Check
really been good at
NASCAR
short
website.
track. I don't think.
That's true. Yeah.
What?
We just don't know, so who knows?
He's what? I didn't hear.
Well, looks like we have one last question. Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
He's what? I didn't hear.
Because we have like Bristol and Richmond coming, he's not really that good at short track, so how can he compete? And he just got 41st at Michigan. Darlington's similar, so again, how is he going to do well?
That is true.
If you look at it, he's always been ran well at both Richmond and Martinsville. Bristol is kind of the odd one out, but Bristol, he's ran well. He's ran okay at Bristol, but Richmond, he's won there twice. Martinsville, he almost won there in 2012. He almost won there in 2013. He ran well this year. He ran well last year. I don't know. He might at Richmond. He might. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Have to, yeah.
And Darlington as well.
Right.
It's never been the
Right now,
greatest.
Boyer has the last chase spot.
Yeah.
He's how many points to the good is he? He is about 20 points ahead of Eric Almirola.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, if somebody like Casey Kane or Kyle Larson or Dylan sneaks into victory lane in the next couple weeks, that knocks him out.
Yeah.
So
I would rather see a better driver.
Yep.
Not like he's not good, but someone who's consistently good.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
that's why I don't want Casey Kane to make the chase. Because Casey
Yeah.
does not deserve to be in the chase because he hasn't shown any speed and he's shown a lack of motivation.
Yeah.
So
He also realizes that he's the
I've
fourth
never
car at Hendrick.
rooted.
They don't care about him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fourth team at Hendrick has always struggled too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The five really has.
Hasn't been good since 2009, basically.
Pretty much.
All right, our final question of the day: do you think Chase Elliott will win a race next year in the 24? Depends. We still haven't really. We've only seen Chase Elliott run a Cup car a couple times, so I don't really know how he's going to perform. I think he'll perform all right. I think if the right pieces are there and he and his crew chief are good, then yeah, I think they can get a win or two. But Chase Elliott down the road, I don't really know how to think about. Like he's like second in points right now in the Xfinity, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's performing a lot better than I think he has been. So he hasn't won a race this year, which is a problem though. So I think he'll be all right. But
I don't
Chase
think.
Elliott's good. I just don't know if he'll win a race next year.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna win one just because. When was the last time a rookie won a race? That was like 4 or 5 years ago, and they're not bad drivers.
That is true.
Like Austin Dillon is a good driver, but he didn't win.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. 2003? No. 12. I think 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Logano
wanna
won.
say.
It's been a long time.
And that was under rain delay as well.
Yeah, 2011 we had 5 first-time winners, but none of them were rookies. I think.
Yeah, like Bain didn't.
Yeah. Yeah,
Smith-
rookie hasn't won since I think 2009.
Yeah.
Jesus. Someone's doing something. So I don't know. I mean, if the 24 team's good next year, then yeah.
And it
I
is.
believe. Yeah. I believe though that is the end of the show. We've made it an hour somehow.
We didn't even make it the topic.
Oh my god, we didn't. I just realized. We completely skipped over that.
I
Do you
forgot
still want
what
to talk about that? Screw it, let's do it. Favorite racing games. I totally forgot that we had a topic. Wow, I feel dumb now.
At least it wasn't Brendan Gaughan.
Yeah.
I mentioned him for a moment, so I mean, we got that.
That's
going.
true.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, let's just talk about good NASCAR games because there hasn't been one in a while.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm still yet to play NASCAR 15, so Inside Line, I like it, but I'm like, it's not that great. I mean, it's fun, but it's nothing special.
Yeah. There is one
Inter
thing I don't.
2003 for life.
Can you hear?
I think the best one.
Huh?
I think the best game that they've ever made was Dirt to Daytona. That was a solid game.
Dirt to Daytona is so great, and I've been wanting to buy a copy of it, but the only place I found it, they still want like $40 for it.
Jeez.
And that came out in like 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Dirt to Daytona is great. Yeah, you were cutting out for a moment, but I can hear you now.
The best part is that you can drive dirt cars because no other game has that, so it's got the monopoly.
Yeah. Riley, what's your personal favorite?
Yeah. I've always said I've liked EA Sports games between 2005 and 2007. 2008 was alright. 2009 was really when they fell off, and then of course.
NASCAR 9 sucks. Oh, I hate it.
And then of course.
NASCAR 9 for the PS2 sucks. Sorry, go ahead.
And then after that, like, they had NASCAR Unleashed. Well, it wasn't EA Sports, I guess, but it was NASCAR Unleashed. I didn't really like that game. I had it for the 3DS. It was alright. It just wasn't regular NASCAR. And they had NASCAR 2011. Let me tell you about that game. For the Wii,
Oh, God.
horrible. For the PS3, pretty good, actually. The graphics are completely different. They had a paint booth on PS3, which they don't on the Wii.
It's the Wii.
Yeah. Yeah. And then NASCAR Inside Line was pretty good. I found it was a big upgrade from 2011.
Yeah, Inside Line was a huge improvement over 2011.
Yeah.
They actually had a full field of Cup drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
There is one thing about Inside Line that I don't like. Whenever you come up beside a car and you do touch them just a little bit, they fly into the wall. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's the same with NASCAR 14.
That and they stack up like crazy on super speedways too.
Yeah. On NASCAR,
Going into turn 3 at Talladega is carnage.
yeah. NASCAR 14 is it's. I had Warren over here once, and we did Dover, or I did Dover because we were taking turns on a season mode, and I did Dover. It was 4 wide almost the whole race on NASCAR 14. I finished. I think I was
Yeah.
third on the last lap, and I finished like 18th or something, without any wrecks or anything. I couldn't, like, I fell back and then I couldn't get around them because it was 4 wide around the whole track. And that's one thing I don't like about shorter tracks on NASCAR 14. I usually race Sonoma, Texas, Kansas, and Auto Club, I guess. Pretty much those are my 4 better tracks. Sonoma, I was unbeatable until some person online beat me, and Matt knows who that is. It's different.
Sonoma is amazing. Sorry, go ahead, Matt.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Sonoma on Inside Line's great because there's jumps that you can hit.
Yeah.
I think it's, let's see, it's 2, 3. turn 5, I think, the one that crests over the hill, that's the right-hander. If you cut to the inside right there, right against the wall, you'll just launch over the entire field.
Oh, I know. I
And
do
then
that.
if you go, yeah, down through the S's, if you just cut straight through the dirt, you'll just launch
Yeah.
over the track at one part, and it's amazing, and I love it. The thing I like about Inside Line is that the AI is really aggressive.
Yeah, that's good.
And I mean, sometimes they wreck a little too much. Yeah, that's the thing that always bugged me about the EA Sports games is the AI just kind of sits there and just runs their own line. They're not really aggressive. And I mean, in Inside Line, they're super aggressive. They bump draft, and I think that's really cool. At the same time, though, because of how much they crash and how they just run 3 wide everywhere, is one of the reasons I can't really take the game that seriously. But it is
Yeah.
really, I think it's a fun game if you're just gonna screw around. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About what you were saying with the EA games and how they just kind of run their line. The EA Sports, if you can remember, they had rivals. They had the rivals. Part of the,
Yeah, I liked that. I really liked that system.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I said, whenever you said that EA Sports games, the cars just ran the line.
Well, I mean, like, if you don't form a rivalry with somebody, they all just kind of run in packs and they don't race each other really that hard.
Yeah.
And, like, out of Super Speedway, if somebody gets run, you just cut down and block them. They're just like, oh, okay, and they back off, and then they don't
Yeah.
pass you.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fun. They're just, like, the AI could always be improved. It reminds me a lot of Gran Turismo's AI, which just kind of runs on rails. Yeah. Have either of you played Gran Turismo ever?
No.
Oh, no, sorry. What do you want to say, Matt?
Going back to what you said about like how games like glitched, like someone was like doing something crazy. 2 games I've noticed both at Infineon or Sonoma. There's been problems. NASCAR Heat, a 2000 game on the computer. If you go up like the first hill, you can launch off the hill. And then on Dirt to Daytona, at the bottom turn, at Sonoma, right before you would go into the pit, if you push all the tires that are on the track into the track, the AIs will hit the tires and then they'll go on fire.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that'll get you. Oh, there is an amazing glitch, or not glitch, but things you can do. If either of you guys played in our 2003 ever, you can set the AI drag to like negative numbers, and then go to Talladega, and they'll barrel off into turn 1 at 1,800 miles an hour, and then all of them will slide up into the wall, and then they'll form a big train and just grind along the wall, and then come to a rest on the back straightaway. It's amazing. But I did that at Watkins Glen. I turned their drag all the way down, so they blew into the first turn at 800 miles an hour. All of the cars piled into the same spot that it crashed my game. I have a screenshot somewhere where it crashed my game. Like it's just my car sitting there in the entrance of turn 1, all of the cars piled into turn 1, and then it just says like Inter 2003 stopped working. Here, I'll screen share it. You guys got to see this. It's amazing.
All right.
So this is it right here. You can just see me sitting here. Inter 2003 has stopped working, and then just look at this pile of cars. That's 42 cars piled into each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah, crashed my game. It was awesome. Yeah, Inter 2003 is fantastic, though. I'm not encouraging piracy, but if you don't want to pay $100 for a video game, it's 12 years old, so yeah. So it's great. I haven't played iRacing at all either. I've heard it's fun, but I don't want to pay every month to use a game, so screw that.
Yeah. Have either of you played NASCAR 2000?
I have not.
Is that the PS1 game?
I had it on the Nintendo 64, but I think it's on both.
I have it on N64 and PS1. I've had the PS1 version for a long time, and then I bought an N64 recently, and my brother bought me it for Christmas, the N64 version of it.
That game has the greatest glitch ever. If you're driving at Daytona, and as soon as people start, if you back up behind the start finish line and drive forwards, you win.
Oh,
So,
yeah,
Oh, I need to test this out now. Oh man.
I saw that somewhere, and I heard of it.
I need to try this now.
There's
Sorry, go ahead.
uh, there's glitches that my brother and I do on NASCAR 2005. Or we used to find them. Well, anytime we'd ever used to play Talladega, we'd on two-player. Of course, in 2005 there was only 19 AI cars, and we would always go backwards to see if we could catch them all on fire to eliminate them all. And
I'd love that.
And there's different times where if you make straight-on contact, full speed down the back straightaway at Talladega, you hit them, for one split second, it will just pause the game, and then one car would fly way up in the air. The opposite car would fly way up in the air.
That was actually how I got my first Daytona win. I had been playing NASCAR Thunder 2004 for years, and then my older brother was going backwards, and I was going forwards, and he was just crashing the whole field. And then I remember he ran into Bobby Labonte, who was leading, and went up into the air, and I drove underneath both of them, and then took the lead, and then I won. And I was like, yeah, I did it! I did a thing! Yeah.
That happened even at Martinsville.
Oh, there is a glitch. Martinsville NASCAR 09. If you and another car, like you and your friend, park nose to tail, you can block the entire front straightaway, and then all the cars will come up and stop, and then they'll just sit there backwards and forwards for like 5 minutes, and then they'll just disappear, and then you can go race and win.
Oh, God.
It's awesome. It's great.
I'll have to try that.
I bought NASCAR Rumble at a flea market recently, and I still haven't played it, but I need to. I found it for the guy wanted $1 for it, and it's PS1, and it's in like mint condition, and I was like, why have I not played this yet?
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, so NASCAR games I have, let's see, 99, 2000, and Rumble for PS1, and then I have, what's up? No, I don't work tonight. Sorry about that interruption. And then for PS2, I have all of the EA Sports games from NASCAR Thunder 2003 to NASCAR 09. And then I have Inside Line, I think. That's it. Yeah.
I have 99, I think. 99, 2002, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, Unleashed, 2011, Inside Line, NASCAR 14, and NASCAR 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's see, Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Have you guys ever done a 10-second lap at Homestead?
No.
I have not.
So I was doing a race on NASCAR 06, and if you do it just right, if you fly like through the pit, you can actually go through the wall and pop out on the other side, so you can just race around the turn, and you get a 10-second lap.
Oh,
That's
jeez.
awesome.
That reminds me of on NASCAR 2008, on two-player, if one person is running dead last and the other person is running first, I'm not sure if that's where you need to run, but and the 43rd place driver pits, they come out on the track, they don't need to use the brake. They can go around the track. I know because my brother and I did it, and then I searched it up on Google. And there's a couple different people I know because I can't remember who we were, but I was dead last and my brother was leading because I like wrecked and we had like all the damage on, so I was slow. So I went down pit road, I got repairs and everything. I came out in the track. I was going like 220 miles per hour through the corners at Pocono.
What the heck?
Whoa. Wow.
I know, and we didn't need to use the brake at all. Or
I was gonna say, a race I remember to this day was me and my buddy Grant were playing NASCAR 09, like when it first came out. We were doing a Truck Series season, I think, and it was Las Vegas, and I can't remember exactly how it happened, but we got into this super intense battle. He was leading, I ran up on him, and then as we were battling, I was driving Mike Skinner's truck, and he was driving Eric Darnell. And then somehow one car slipped around us both on the outside on the last lap, and then Grant got loose, turned me sideways, slid grass sideways, and he finished second in a photo finish to the other guy. And then I came across in the grass sideways in fourth. it was amazing, and I wish I could have saved the replay because it was awesome. But then what was cool about that was later that year at Las Vegas in the trucks, Eric Darnell and Mike Skinner, the two trucks that we were driving, had the photo finish at the track that we had our photo finish at. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Go ahead.
have you guys raced at Tiburon on NASCAR 04?
Yes, Tiburon's awesome.
Yeah.
If you go backwards and you go in like 250 or whatever it does, you can hit the cars dead on and they'll fly over the fence.
I need to try that now. Oh, do you guys remember Old Spice Speedway?
Yeah.
I
Road
love
course.
Of course. Yeah, that was
Somebody that people have been recreating it for Inter 2003, and it took 10 years, but they finally finished it earlier this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was racing it 2 days ago, I think, and oh my god, I remember the track, but it is ridiculously bumpy, and it's really hard to set up your car right. But
I
it's
remember that
awesome.
'cause that was like one of my best road courses. Like on the
Oh
2000
yeah.
game, I was so good at that track.
I remember when I first started playing that game, I just couldn't figure that track out. And then suddenly something ticked, and I started getting really good at it. I won something like 9 straight races at it or something like that. Yeah,
Speaking
in
of
the
road,
career mode.
on 2011, NASCAR 2011, I won 11 in a row at Sonoma, leading all the laps in 11 races.
Jeez.
I used to practice Sonoma all the time, and now I can just, like, I play 100% on NASCAR 14. I play Legend on NASCAR Inside Line. I play 100% on NASCAR 15. I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but I seem to be pretty good at Sonoma.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to try it in real life, where I actually have to shift,
I am really good at Watkins Glen on Inter 2003. I've never been able to get a grasp around Sonoma, which is funny because it's my home track, and I've been there numerous times.
Yeah.
But like online racing, whenever I would race Open Speedway, and I would constantly finish like top 8. I would be really good at it, and I obviously I run manual transmission on it, but I've just never been able to get a handle on Sonoma. Mainly because Sonoma you have to be smooth, and I'm not smooth. I'm very aggressive.
I'm aggressive too. I've never been the greatest at Watkins Glen, to be honest. I've won there, of course, a couple times, but I've never dominated. I've never been always a driver to win. My brother's actually pretty good at Watkins Glen. He's better there than Sonoma, and I'm better at Sonoma than Watkins Glen, which is why anytime we ever play, he's like, "Oh, let's do Watkins Glen." No, we're doing Sonoma.
I like
That's
Martin.
Yeah.
That's
No,
fun.
what story?
Martinsville. That's the best track because you can like fly in the turns and
Oh,
crash
yeah.
people.
Yeah, that's what you did online.
I had to win something.
Martinsville, Inter 2003, in my offline championship, I won something like 5 straight races there.
Wow.
I got my setup so dialed in that nobody could touch me.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Dodge Raceway?
Yes, Dodge
Yeah.
Raceway is awesome too.
I was, of course, I don't mean to sound cocky again, but I was good there as well. That, and do you guys remember Red Ball?
Yeah.
Red Ball, I was,
Red Ball. Which one was Red Ball?
it was another short track.
Which one was Red Ball?
It's like IRP, isn't it? I think it's
Sort of, yeah, it is similar to,
I mean, I recognize the name. Let me look it up real quick.
uh,
I remember Mr. Clean Raceway was literally just Rockingham.
yeah. I know on my NASCAR Game and White channel, or now GameCube Gamer, when I used to upload NASCAR 07 races, Red Ball was on there, and
Oh, I remember this one now.
I dominated the first race.
Yeah,
Of course, I uploaded every race of the season. I don't think I finished the season, but I uploaded all the races, or most of them. And I dominated the first race, and then people were commenting on my second time I did it. They were like, "Oh, I already know you're gonna I already know you're gonna dominate this race. I know you're gonna win." And I hit the pit wall.
Oh,
Came
God.
out of turn 2, got so loose, came down, ran into the pit wall. No caution, and I can't remember where I finished, but I didn't win.
I remember Red Ball used to be called UPS. That's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
I remember
What-
when I was in like 6th grade, we had just like a I don't even remember why, but it was just a day where we just didn't do school, set up with a bunch of stuff, and they had NASCAR 05 set up on the GameCube, and I told everybody, I was like, I can guarantee I will win every race that we do, and I beat like 8 straight people, and nobody could touch me while I was racing it. I just kept picking UPS/Red Ball Raceway, and just nobody could come close to me. And I was like, "What's up, bitches?" Yeah. Yeah. So that was my one claim to fame in grade school.
Yeah. I always liked Levi Strauss Raceway, the like small version of Pokemon.
Yeah. I never was good there either.
Yeah, it's based off of Sorry, go ahead, Riley.
No, I forgot what I was going to say anyways.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's based off of Concord Raceway or something like that, because tracks like Concord, what was the other one? I forget, Mr. Clean, and then there was one other one I think that they couldn't get the rights to the name of the track, so they just made the track and named it something else. So
Yeah.
like, it's funny because it's called Mr. Clean Raceway and like in NASCAR 06, but it's literally just Rockingham in Hawaii. And then in NASCAR 09, they have Rockingham where you can race modifieds again,
Yeah.
but you can't race at any of the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Dodge Raceway was I think Bowman Gray, something like that,
Oh, was it?
or similar to Bowman Gray. It's similar to Bowman Gray.
Uh,
And then I want to say Red Ball is based off of a track that Arca races at, but I can't remember.
what about Devil's Canyon? Do you remember Devil's Canyon?
Oh, that was
Devil's Canyon is awesome.
Yeah.
The fantasy tracks in 04 were amazing.
Yeah.
Devil's
05.
Canyon, Dockside,
Yeah, Dockside was.
Lumberjack, and what was the other one? There was one more. There was the one where you race like through the forest. Speedway Boulevard was really cool too.
Oh yeah, that's the track with the tunnel, isn't it?
Speedway Boulevard's the one where you're like racing on the streets outside of Daytona.
Yeah, if you go backwards there, you can block all the drivers inside the tunnel, so there's like a huge fire.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There were some really good fantasy tracks that they had. The Daytona Beach circuit was always really cool too,
Yeah.
especially in 2003 and 2004 because it was just chaos.
Yeah.
What was another really good fantasy track that they had? The infield courses they did too were really cool.
Yeah.
I liked New York City Raceway in 2005. That was cool. Like racing.
Oh yeah, yeah, that one's really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one where you have to race Newman at the start of the game?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I always lost.
yeah. I won that like once, I think.
Yeah, because
And
I remember I did it. I played NASCAR 2005. That was the first ever NASCAR game I ever got, and I used to play that so much that in like 2 weeks my memory was corrupted. So I had to restart the game. I almost beat the whole game, and I had to restart.
that sucks.
I know.
I have so much. I played Thunder 2004 so much as a kid, like ridiculous, and I can still go back to that one and enjoy it. Like 06 Total Team Control was the other one that I played a crap ton, and I can still play that one, but it doesn't really hold up as much as I wish it would. But NASCAR Thunder 2004 is so good. I love that game so much. It has, so many Busch Series cars. It has so many fantasy tracks. The career mode is really good. Other than like the early fight to the top ones, it's probably the best career mode.
Yeah.
That game is a blast.
I only tried.
You can go, Riley.
All right then.
Sorry, what? What did you say?
You can go.
I couldn't. What?
You said You can go.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
I've only ever played NASCAR 2004 once.
Oh yeah, 2004 is so good.
Yeah, it's a great game.
I love it. That was the first one that introduced rivals too. Oh.
Mhm.
The rival system's kind of broken on that one because it's really easy to make rivals and really hard to make allies. But other than that, it's fun.
That's the same with 2005 for me.
Yeah,
I
that
always
was the one where it was like, oh, if you race dirty, you can be your intimidator meter fills up better or whatever. And I'm like, what if I suck at driving and I don't want to piss people off? Yeah. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Matt?
I always had like every villain in that game. I was always like the 100% villain because I suck at racing games. So I always crash.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, do you remember on 06 the signing autographs minigame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was terrible at that. I am terrible at quick time events.
I would always lose.
I know, I would too, and everybody would be like, what the heck? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I never did it.
Yeah. Are there any non-NASCAR racing games that you guys like a lot?
Need for Speed. I like Need for Speed games. Every once in a while, I kind of want to play Need for Speed.
Yeah, the Hot Pursuit games are really good, especially Hot Pursuit 2 on PS2. That one's really good.
Yeah.
And then the PS3 version's really good too. A lot of people like Underground 2 more, but I would say Underground's my favorite of those, the street racing ones.
Yeah.
Mainly nostalgia, but yeah.
If any of you have ever played ATV Off-Road Fury.
Yes, ATV Off-Road Fury 2 was the first PS2 game I ever owned, and I still have it.
I love those games.
My first video game I ever owned was Supercross 2000 for the PS1, and I had it for years, and then my friend Zach borrowed it like 7 years ago, and I've never got it back. And like I found all my old PS2 games that he borrowed at his house and his old PS1, or I'm sorry, my PS1 games, not my PS2 games. Never found that one.
Jeez.
And I'm so bummed out, and I can't find it any. Like I don't want to go online and buy it because that's kind of lame. I want to find it like at like a record store or at like a flea market or something because I want to stumble upon it.
Yeah. There was Formula 1 2011, I think, for the 3DS. I have that game.
Yes, F1 2011 is really good too.
I
I want to get 2012 because I've heard that one's better because you can do like classic racing or race cars, but 2011 is pretty fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's a shame that the
Have
last
either
two
of you
came
played-
out sucked. Sorry, go ahead.
Have either of you played Test One? Eve of Destruction. It's like demolition derby stuff.
How you cut out really bad there when you said that.
It's Test Drive Eve of Destruction. So you take like crappy cars and you race them at like events where you damage them. So demolition derby.
That sounds like a Flat Out. If you've ever played Flat Out.
I think I've heard of that game before.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, it sounds
made
really
by
fun.
the same people. It's made by the same people that do Dirt of Daytona, so it shares like some of the same tracks.
Yeah.
Alright.
Have you guys ever played Flat Out 2 is really fun too. It's the racing game, but like if you crash hard enough, your guy will go flying out your windshield. And then like there's obviously demo derbies. There's races where you have a track. It's either like a figure eight, or there's one where it's one giant straightaway with two hairpins on either side. So and there's jumps in the middle. So basically, you drive down the straightaway and then you turn around this turning post to come back. So you're always meeting somebody head on. And the point is to obviously smash your opponents up, and all the cars are ridiculous and everything, and you get boost from just smashing things. But then there's mini games where you go, there's like a big ramp and you get speed, and then you push a button and you eject your driver out the windshield, and you try to like hit a target or get as far as possible or do things like that.
Yeah.
It's great. I love Flat Out. Flat Out 2 is amazing.
Did you say it was for the PS2?
Gran Turismo is a mixed bag for me. It came out for PS2. I have it on PC though. I rented it a long time ago on PS2 though.
Yeah.
You can get it on just about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gran Turismo is a game that I have a love-hate relationship with. Like, I love collecting cars and customizing them and doing all the different races, but Like especially Gran Turismo 4, the AI is so bad, and you can only have 6 cars per race, and that sucks. Gran Turismo 5 is much better though. Yeah.
Have either
I'm
of you
guessing none of you
played?
guys have played those either.
I haven't. Have either of you played the MotorStorm games?
No, but I've heard of them.
I did a race where I was driving on a motorcycle and my guy flew off, and like you can run them over and you see it in the cameras. But this one, my guy flew off and he like landed on a billboard, but his shirt got stuck on the billboard. But the camera didn't do it right, so from the angle, it looks like part of his neck is impaled on the billboard. So it looks like he's being like hung.
Ugh. Jeez. Oh, I just remembered. I found this game. I don't remember where I found it. Have you guys ever played Lego Racers?
I think
I love that game.
Lego
That game's
Racers
awesome.
is so good. Oh, you build the car out of Legos and then you race it. Like the second one is cool because you can get like your car will fall apart when you hit things and stuff like that, and the car creation's better. But the first one's just a better racing game because it's more fun. But yeah, Lego Racers is really fun. But one of the ones that I put probably the most hours into is Dirt 3. I don't know if you guys played that. It's a rally car racing game, but it has
done
an
Dirt.
online mode called Cat and Mouse.
Oh god.
What?
Oh, I've played
Yeah,
Dirt
you can
1.
play Cat and Mouse. Yeah, Dirt 3 has an online mode called Cat and Mouse where you're on teams of 4, I think, where 2 people or 1 person on each team is in a Mini Cooper rally car. You are the mice. Then the other guys have 3 Group B rally cars, which are much faster and much bigger, and those are the cats. And you can see where I'm going with this, but the 2 mice get a head start and get to run off, and then like 30 seconds later they release the people in the Group B cars, and it is carnage because your goal as a cat is to track down the other team's Mini Cooper and destroy it and protect yours. And so you'll just be driving along, and then somebody will just cut through a corner and just launch and just blindside you into a tree, and then it's chaos. And it is the most fun I think I've ever had with a racing game, because it's my favorite part is when you get stuck as a mouse. You're like, oh god, they're gonna destroy me. So you're just tooling along in your Mini Cooper, and then you look in your mirror, you just see headlights coming for you. And what I would always do was they'd come to sideswipe me, so I'd just slam on the brakes, and they'd cut across the road and slam into a tree, and then I'd just keep going and be like, well, it is a blast, though. It is so much fun.
And who doesn't like Mario Kart?
Oh, God, it's chaos, and that's why I'm like, man, my copy of the complete edition needs to install already, because I want to play that again really badly. Yep. Wow, we've stretched this show out to almost an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh jeez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Long.
Do we have any other racing games we want to bring up?
Mario Kart.
Obviously Mario Kart. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's been done to death.
Have
But I think-
either of you played Pac-Man? I think it's called Racers. You're the Pac-Man guy in a little car, and you go around like eating other people.
No, I haven't played that. I haven't even heard of that, I don't think.
I've played it before. Only a couple times. I have a Pac-Man collection game for the Wii. It has like a bunch of different Pac-Man games from the past, but in like a newer version. I think that is one of the Pac-Man racers.
Does it have a Pac-Man Versus on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of that version, Matt?
I don't think so.
So it originally came out for the GameCube, and so basically what you do is one person uses the Game Boy Advance controller plugged in as a controller, so they're playing Pac-Man, so they see the screen on the bottom, and then the 3 people playing Ghosts use the TV. So the guy with Pac-Man uses the small screen and runs around, and the guy with Ghosts have to chase him down, and I'm like, that sounds like a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think we can wrap up the show now. It's been a long, difficult ride. We lost somebody along. Not everybody made it to the end, and so should be fun. But I'll put Jason's channel in the description. So if you want to check him out, I know he didn't say much, but he was having problems while we were recording this. But if you want to check him out, his channel will be in the description below. If you're watching the uploaded version of this, if you're watching the live version, well, I guess you're SOL. So sorry about that. Riley, you wanna plug your channel first to show them how it's done?
All right. Well, of course, subscribe to Riley Way. Of course, my channel will be in the description. I really don't know what's going to be coming up. Of course, Martinsville. I've been trying to work on it as much as I can. I've been a little busy lately. School shopping a couple times. Went to my nan's last night. Having Warren over tomorrow, and then I'm going to his house Friday. So I might try to work on it tonight, but I have an appointment tomorrow with mental health. And so yeah, I uploaded the Scotia Speedbro thing that a couple people liked. Of course, it was a really long video. I didn't intend for it to be that long. It wasn't the greatest quality because of my iPod being bad quality and everything, but not sure if you guys can look for much on the channel. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Basketball Retards. I want to do a couple more reactions. Seemed like the reaction video we did there the other day was alright. If neither of you watched it, I have a riddle here. I want to give it to you before the end. I'll tell you before the end. But we want to do some pranks as well. We don't know what they will be. Hopefully, my brother can have a couple friends over before the end of summer. Maybe I could do a couple videos with Warren. Hopefully, just to keep the publicity, I guess, to keep our viewers, busy, I guess. There hasn't been many videos as anticipated uploaded. We planned on uploading quite a few videos for the Basketball Retards this summer, considering we were going to be outside instead of downstairs. But just haven't got around to it. We've been enjoying summer a little too much to plan things. Yeah, even with Martinsville, I haven't really planned as much with it. Of course, I worked on it. I'm still only on lap like 14 out of 20. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Riley White's life story, everyone. Matt, where can we find you on social media, and what's coming up on your channel?
So my channel is Matt L. You can subscribe there. I also have a website, which it's not really that active. No one really checks it, but it's in my channel about page. It's NASCAR Race Revy. So instead of review, it's Revy without the W. .ucoz.com. Pretty cool. Besides that, for anyone that's an AMP Cup Series fan, I'm kind of lacking on doing my races. I did a few this year, but not that many. Actually, only like 2. I have the next one on my floor. I see it every day, but I don't really work on it too often, so hopefully I can get that out pretty fast. And as well as my Snapple Truck Series, I did make a race, and then I had to edit it. I was going to put it online. Then I deleted the file, so that kind of was lost. But I'm hoping to come back with those videos, so there'll be some cool stuff coming.
Sounds good.
All right, yep. That sounds good. As for me, you can find me obviously on YouTube as Junior 8A Rocks. Also my other channel, Minecraft Cubed, where I'll be uploading stuff because I ran out of memory card space on my camera, and I ran out of hard drive space on my computer, so I can't take any more pictures and I can't clear up any space anywhere. So since I have so much Fraps footage of Minecraft stuff, I'm just editing all that, cutting it down so to make room on my hard drive. So if there's a bunch of Minecraft videos coming out, just want you to know that is because I physically can't do stop motion right now. Makita Truck Series Race 2 will be out eventually, hopefully. And I'm not putting it off, I'm just struggling to get it done with a busy work schedule. As for social media, I'll obviously link to Riley's Instagram. I don't know if you have an Instagram, Matt, but find me at the Unofficial Bay. There will be a link below. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I mentioned I have a Vine, but I don't post anything. So if you want to follow me there, it's the Unofficial Bay as well. And I think I've started using my Facebook page again. I changed it to Dale Jr. 8A Rocks Productions. So if you want to follow me there, that link will also be in the description. And I'll put Jason's and I'll put Colin's stuff, since he couldn't be here this week, in the description. So if you want to check out their stuff, it will be there too. Any final thoughts, you guys?
NASCAR.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you want to hear the riddle?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah.
All right. There was 30 cows in a field and 28 chickens. How many didn't?
I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't hear that. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Matt, it was an honor having you on the show, and we'll have to have you on again sometime. So
Yeah, it was great.
thanks for coming on at such short notice.
No problem.
This has been the Dale With It podcast, and we'll see you next time.